Welcome to the TSI Mathematics Boot Camp. This is the booklet that we'll be using in the next 3 days. Mathematics is success, unlock your future. By you enrolling in our TSI Boot Camp, you have taken the first step in improving your TSI scores. And I just want to say that the TSI scores that you get does not mean that you cannot be a doctor, you cannot be an engineer, you cannot be a nurse, you cannot be a teacher. The scores are only there to help you place into our classes. So whatever score you get, if it's not 350 and above, don't feel like you can never be a doctor or a nurse or engineer or whatever field it is that you're trying to be. There's no pass or fail grade. This is only a placement exam to help you see what class you need to be enrolled in. The first thing that I want to go over is this TSI Practice App. It's a free app. If you go to this website and sign up, you'll be able to practice problems that will help you to improve your grade as well. It gives you 3 options. You have reading, writing, and math. Once you go into the math, you'll have some more options. You'll have a pre-calculus and an intermediate level. You want to practice mainly in the intermediate level and then also some of the pre-calculus level. The next handout are just, this is a handout on factoring steps. And basically it goes over what is the process when we're trying to factor. And we're going to discuss this in more detail. These are just some helpful sheets that you can use as we go through our 3-day sessions. Basically, these are going to help you to decide if you can factor a number. So for example, 3 is prime and the only factors are 1 and 3, but 4 is composite, so you have more than 2 factors. So you have 1, 4, and then you have an additional 1. So these numbers 1, 2, 3, 6, these are called factors, which we'll discuss when we get started. And then you have this chart which will also help you. Okay. Now the TSI Boot Camp, what we'll be covering in the 3 days is as follows. We have these 11 topics, and the way we came up with these topics is basically I took the test a few times, and from that taking that test, then I figured these were the topics that were the most important in order to get a 350 and above. So the first topic is order of operations. And so order of operations, um, whenever we have multiple operations, these are the order that we want to follow. So first you want to do the parentheses, then we want to do exponents, then we do multiplication division. If whatever comes first from left to right, that's what you would do first. So we would do multiplication if that's what you see first coming left to right. Then we do addition and subtraction. Example 1. So here we have multiplication, subtraction, exponents, parentheses. So first we'll do the parentheses. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Then we'll do the exponent. 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, which is going to be 8. Then we have multiplication, 16 times 4, 64. And then we have 64 minus 8 plus 3. So we would do subtraction 4 first. So we get 56 plus 3 is 59. Okay. So the next one, perform the indicated operation. So we have 11 plus 9 parentheses 7 minus 2 divided by 3 squared minus 27 divided by 3. So we can work the parentheses first. 7 minus 2 is 5. And then we can do the exponent. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 5 is 45. And then down here we have 9. We want to do the division first. 27 divided by 3 is 9. 11 plus 45 is 56. 9 minus 9 is 0. So here we cannot divide by 0, so we just say this is undefined. Number 3, perform the indicated operation. So we have 2/3 plus 1/4. You want to do the parentheses first. Since we are adding, we need to have a common denominator. So that common denominator is 15. So in order to make this 2/5 of 15, I would have to multiply by 3. Notice 5 times 3 is 15, but we would also have to do it on the top. 2 times 3 is 6. And then to make this 3 of 15, we need to multiply by 5 on the top and bottom. 7 times 5, 35. 35 plus 6, we can add the numerators now, is 41, or 15. And now we can do this parenthesis here and multiply 1/4. So 1 times 41 is 41. 4 times 15 is 60. And then we need a common denominator. So this 2/3, the 3, we can use 60 as our common denominator. This one has a 60 already, so I just leave my numerator as is. But for this 3, in order to make it a 60, I would need to multiply the top and bottom by 20, as I did here. So 2 times 20 is 40. 3 times 20 is 60. So we add 40 plus 41 is 81 divided by 60. And we need to simplify. So 3 divided by, or 81 divided by 3 is 27. And 60 divided by 3 is 20. So anytime that you can't simplify, you want to go ahead and simplify. Number 4, we can do the parentheses first. Common denominator would be 12. Notice that the first one already has a 12, so we just leave the numerator as is. But the second one, to make the 3, we multiply by 4. 4 times 3 is 12. On top and bottom, 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. So 8 plus 5 is 13. 5, 6 squared is the same as 5, 6 times 5, 6. So 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 6 is 36, divided by 13/12. And so here we would get, if we're dividing, we switch to multiplication. And we switch to multiplication. That means we take the reciprocal of the next number. And then for multiplication of fractions, we just multiply across. However, notice that I can simplify this 12 and 36. So if I divide this by 12, 12 divided by 12 is 1, and 36 divided by 12 is 3. So 25 times 1 is 25. 3 times 13 is 39. So on the exam, they don't quite ask you questions like this right here. It's more questions that are worded in this way. What is the value of the expression 5x squared minus xy plus y squared when x equals 4 and y equals negative 1? So here, since they tell you that x equals 4, we plug it in for the x. So anywhere you see an x, we're going to substitute the 4. And anywhere you see a y, we're going to substitute a negative 1. And then we can apply the order of operations. So 4 squared is 16. Negative 1 squared is 1. 5 times 16 is 80. Negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. So this becomes 85. The next one, they give me A, B, and D, and we're trying to find C. So A is 110, B is 13, C is unknown, and then D is 6. So here I can multiply 1/2 times 6 is going to be 3. Distribute the 3. 3 times 13 is 39. Subtract 39. 71. Okay, so again, we plug in the 110, B is 13, C is unknown, D is 6. 6 times 1/2 is 3. 3 times 13 is 39. 3 times C, and here I made a mistake. 3 times C is 3C. So let me just correct this.